Hello guys, it's Ivan here checking in, and as always, first things first, hope you guys are awesome. Second, in today's video, I'm going to elaborate more on a topic that a concept that I talked about in a previous video. Anyway, a little while ago I did a video titled Secrets of the Rich. Go check it out. Anyway, in this video I talk about the massive difference. Obviously, one of the massive differences that set apart the rich and the broke, right? And which is basically how they look at money. Now, before we get to that, there's a massive myth that most of us are raised with, which is basically making more money it means you're rich, which is why most kids want to become doctors. They want to become, well, not oh, sometimes it's not about rock stars or whatever. Sometimes it's, the kids are not really into it for the money or whatever. But yeah, you guys get the point. Which is why most people want to become doctors or whatever. They want to get in a position where they're making more money. But what they don't understand is just because you make more money doesn't mean you're rich. That's that. Just because you make more money doesn't mean you're rich. Now, back to how different people view money. Now, the rich people, most of us who are broke think of money, when you think about money, you focus on how much money you're making, which is why most people are constantly thinking about getting that promotion or becoming CEO, getting to the next level so they make more money. Whereas the rich people, the wealthy, focus on how much money they're keeping. And that right there is the secret. How much money are you actually keeping? Because if you think about someone who makes $1 million in a month, that's just bonkers. That's a lot of money. But this same person spends that much. It spends $1 million in a month, and he has to wait for the next paycheck. Now, do you think that's actually rich, or that's actually wealthy? I don't think so. Why? Because that person is never gonna escape the rat race of chasing after money, of working for money, which is the opposite of what rich people do. Rich people have mastered the art of making money work for them. That's the secret. And the secret to that is basically focusing on how much money you're keeping as opposed to how much money you're making. And it can be very tricky to keep money, because obviously some people are impulse buyers, and I used to be one of those. So I totally understand that. But if you actually think about, if you save maybe a third of your salary every single month, that money will build up. However little it might seem at first, it will build up over months or whatever. And you'll have all of this money. Which leads us to the next part, the next point that I wanted to talk about, which is basically assets and liabilities. Now, at the very basic level, to save you all the gory but boring details of economics and whatnot, an asset is something that brings money in your pocket, while a liability is something that takes money from your pocket. Very basic, very easy, right? Now, that's another difference that sets apart the wealthy from the broke. The middle class, broke, especially the broke people, middle class, and some most rich people actually, they tend to, when they get all this money, they tend to focus on buying fake assets. For example, the expensive phones that keep coming out, the iPhone 7s, the iPhone 8s, whatever, or the expensive cars or mortgages, whatever. What they don't realize that yes, your broker might tell you when you're buying a mortgage that, it's an asset. What they don't tell you is it's not your asset, because you have to keep paying them money, so it's their assets, not yours. So to you, it's a liability, not an asset. Same thing for the cars. At the very basic level, again, the more expensive the car is, the more insurance you have to pay for it. Again, leeching money off of you, so you're becoming more broke as opposed to getting money from the car. Now, obviously, I have nothing against cars. Cars are awesome. And again, you can also invest in them by buying them, maybe to resell them or to ship them somewhere, whatever, as long as it's bringing money in your account. But you guys get the point. Start investing in actual assets as opposed to liabilities that are disguised as assets. These expensive phones, you can keep buying them, but where are they getting it? They're not, unless you're someone who is an online business person who needs their phone who needs the, you know, an up-to-date phone to keep track of their business, whatever, that sort of thing, of which you're supposed to buy a laptop for that, because you're mixing fun and work on your phone, which can be a bit of a risk. But anyway, that's a huge difference. Now, having mentioned the whole assets and liabilities thing, I want to talk about also two interesting pieces of information that Warren Buffett gave that I think were really brilliant, and I think are worth mentioning right now. Obviously, of the vast majority, other, you know, life lessons that he's given or whatever. Now, one of them is basically get out of cash and get into assets. Why? Because you never know what's gonna happen to the currency, the dollar, the pound, whatever. Because because it's guaranteed that the market's gonna crash sooner or later, and if you're in cash, you're fucked. Excuse my French, but you're fucked. This is how it is. If you're in assets, you're a little bit safer. The second piece of information is, if you're to invest, you don't have, if you want to become wealthy, you don't have to invest in every single asset that looks promising. You only need to invest in a few of them that are well thought through. Take your time to think through them before you invest in them to become wealthy. Those are the basics. Anyway, to do a quick recap: 1, change the way you look at money. Focus on how much you're keeping. If you're an impulse buyer, do something to counteract it. Set up a savings account, so when money goes in your account, it automatically transfers, so you don't spend unnecessary money. Or do something. Don't just sit there and just spend the money. The second bit as well, start investing in assets. Having the money sit there in your account, because it's one thing to keep the money and, you know, start building on it. That's great. But if it's just sitting there in your account and doing nothing, then it's also useless to you. Nearly useless. Yes, you have it, but it's nearly useless to you. If you want to also become part of the wealthy, you have to make money work for you. That means investing it in assets that are gonna build on your money and bring in more money. Anyway, that's it for this video. Hope you guys liked it. If you did, drop a like, comment in the comment below. Let me know what kind of stuff you guys want me to talk about or whatever, and subscribe for more. And you guys are awesome, and I'll catch you in the next video. Sorry.